So Halo 5 just came out a few days ago, and I've gotten to play it a little bit. I played the campaign, beat it in like 7 hours, played it 7 hours straight pretty much. Woke up at 1 o'clock when the game launched, unlocked on my Xbox. Yeah, I downloaded it digitally because I figured that's kind of the way to go now. And I played it till 8 o'clock and went to school afterwards. Skipped sleeping, played the campaign all night. Played a little bit of online multiplayer. I've tried a little bit of online multiplayer since. I've tried a little bit of Warzone, and I just barely scratched the surface of what's in the game. I've played 2 maps, 1 Warzone maps. I haven't played the game a lot. But as first impressions of this game, it is the best Halo game I've ever played. Like, this game is exactly how I always imagined Halo to be. It's come to the point that I always imagined it to eventually go, to be where where you play as a powerful soldier and you can do crazy things. It's the way they allow the characters to move that makes the gameplay so tight. You can use your thrusters to dodge around, you can ground pound, you can run and charge into walls. You can even hover in the air while aiming. There's all this crazy stuff that makes it feel so different, yet it feels like Halo. Obviously there's stuff taken from Call of Duty and Titanfall, but I don't care. It fits perfectly in the game. 343, they get something. They get what Halo is about. And I think that's important. It feels like Halo, yet it feels so different. Now, I think if you were not very pleased by Halo 4, it could go any way for you with this one. It goes even more fast-paced than Halo 4. It goes even a little further away from the core of Halo, yet I think it's just the right direction to go. Obviously, we got a much longer campaign this time around, which makes the game feel a lot bigger, which is one of the main problems with Halo 4. It was kind of short. It was kind of short and lacking in content compared to something like Halo Reach, which used to be my favorite Halo until now. Not only is this my favorite Halo game, it's pretty much my favorite first-person shooter. Which really shouldn't be saying much because I don't play a lot of first-person shooters. But let me just word it another way. This is one of the best games I played this year. Some of the highlights I had this year were Batman Arkham Knight, surprisingly, even though I know a lot of people didn't like it because of the Batmobile. But there's that one. Ori and the Blind Forest is the highlight. This one is another highlight for me this year. And Metal Gear Solid 5 as well, even though I kind of lost it after 20 hours of playing that, but that's probably also one of the best games I've played this year. But in terms of how much I'm planning to play, I think this one pretty much takes the cake, considering the amount of content. You get like 21 something maps on this game. And then you're going to get, I don't know, like 18 more maps, or 12 or something more maps in free DLC. What other games do that? That is absolutely crazy, giving you that free DLC, which means I don't have to convince my friends to buy that DLC, because everybody already has it. If I'm playing multiplayer with someone, if I'm playing multiplayer in a party, I know all of them have that DLC and we can just play it. I think it's absolutely genius. However, they are making money in a different way by using these recs, which let you request certain weapons and armory and tanks and stuff in the Warzone mode. Now, this is only in the Warzone mode and it doesn't touch the arena mode, and it could make the game kind of unbalanced. So I'm a little worried about that. I haven't played enough Warzone to really tell you about this. This is my first impressions. This is not a review of the game. But I really don't think it should ruin it, even though I know I've been drooling a lot on microtransactions and DLC and all that stuff. But when it all comes down to it, I'd rather have free DLC maps and have these optional microtransactions instead of being the other way around, because free DLC maps, I really like the idea of that. And it's one of the things I'm really excited for moving forward with this game. I won't have problems when the DLC comes out, because I know everyone will have access to it because it's free. Another thing that gives me a great first impression of this game is that the Warzone mode is basically Battlefront, just with a lot more content. And considering the fact that there's a campaign on top of that and an ordinary arena multiplayer, it's basically 3 games in one. People are focusing too much on the campaign, how it's just not really that great. But you really buy a Halo game for the campaign? I'm seeing a lot of reviews bashing on the campaign and talking shit about the campaign, and yet they still gave it a pretty good score. Others actually impact the final score of the game way too much based on the campaign, which I think is wrong because you play it for the multiplayer. But nevertheless, I love the campaign. It is the only thing I played all the way through now. Obviously, you can't beat multiplayer, you can't beat Warzone. I have beat the campaign by myself and I love it. The story was interesting. I was paying attention to it, and it kept me sitting in front of the TV for 7 hours. I've never beat a game in one sitting on a first time playthrough that's been 7 hours long. I've never played for 7 hours and beat a game in one sitting first time playing it. I haven't done that. No game has ever made me do that. So I think that's a testament to the campaign. It's graphically, sound-wise, story-wise, everything just comes together perfectly. Pacing is not that great, characters aren't all that great, but the story itself is very interesting. The levels look great, the guns sound great, the rumble triggers actually work in this game. I thought the rumble triggers were kind of a gimmick, as previous shooters I played on the Xbox One had very kind of weak effect, but this game you feel it, you feel the rumble triggers in your fingers when shooting. It was actually so good that when my controller ran out of batteries, it kind of stops using the rumble after a while. I switched out the batteries right away to get that rumble back. Now, of course, a few hours before this game arriving, I had to get messages from my friends with links of pretty unfavorable reviews from people who had gotten preview copies of it. So I got a link from someone saying, "Oh, sorry to disappoint you, but you should probably look at this review. It's not very positive." And I'm like, why do you have to do that? You think I care about reviews right before the game comes out? You think I'm going to watch that? Hell no. I mean, for smaller games, I can watch a review before buying it. But for a game like Halo 5, you know I'm going to get it anyway, so don't... Oh my... It just really annoys me that, people are trying to, push the bad reviews on me before I've even played the game and made up my mind myself. Now, yes, the reviews have been a bit unfavorable because people are focusing too much on the campaign, which I think is wrong. You obviously play this for the multiplayer. I think the campaign is absolutely fantastic. If I were to review and actually give this game a score, it would be probably somewhere around in the 9s. But obviously I don't, do review scores or anything. So that's that. If you have an Xbox One, you should pick this game up. There's no reason to. That's kind of like buying a Wii U and not getting the Zelda game. It's kind of like getting a PS4 and not getting Uncharted 4, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those essential games that if you have an Xbox One, you should get this game. If you don't have an Xbox One, this should be the right time to get one, considering all the games coming next year. Then again, if this is the only game you want on the Xbox One, I don't think it's ever worth buying a console for just one game. But anyways, my first impressions of this game are that it's absolutely great. I'll be playing a lot in the coming weeks. And yeah, that's it. I'll go play more Halo now.